Before Lady Gaga would headline the 2017 Super Bowl, performing for an audience of more than 115 million viewers, which is a far cry from when she was performing in New York City bars. Before Lady Gaga would become one of the best-selling female musicians of all time, selling an estimated 30 million albums and 150 million singles, with hits like Poker Face, Just Dance, Alejandro, Paparazzi, and Bad Romance.
I won't play by your rules!
Before Lady Gaga would amass a staggering following of fans she calls her monsters, with 65 million on Twitter and another 21 million on Instagram. Before Lady Gaga would collect a total of 6 Grammys, a Golden Globe, 3 Brit Awards, 13 MTV Video Music Awards, set 12 Guinness World Records, and have an estimated net worth of $275 million at the time of this recording.
I studied method acting, and I just was really terrible at auditioning and extremely awkward and couldn't get a job, so I decided to become a singer instead.
Before Lady Gaga would call off her engagement to Chicago Fire actor Taylor Kinney after a 5-year relationship.
Bless God and bless the gays!
Although Lady Gaga appears to many like she's something from outer space, living life as a performance artist is a well-calculated plan to bring attention to her work, but also to shell her from what she wants hidden from the public, like her love life.
My love life is the only thing I don't talk about.
She grew up bullied and disenfranchised by her school and used her past hurt to connect with the little guy, the outsiders, or those who felt like they never belonged. A classically trained pianist who writes or co-writes all her own songs, her debut album The Fame was a huge success, and the single Poker Face topped the charts in almost every category in almost every country. Now here's a true story. Before she blew up, she was performing a small show at my university. My friends and I were like, what kind of name is Lady Gaga? Ah, forget it! Weeks later, she was on every billboard, magazine, and selling out the biggest venues around the world. I really should have gone to that show. Who knows, I could be dating her.
Call me Gaga.
Gaga.
Yeah.
Does anyone call you Stephanie?
Yeah, some people do. Especially in bed.
I was just kidding. What's going on, guys? My name is Michael McCredden, documenting the life and career of Lady Gaga prior to fame, here for you on Before They Were Famous. We had made a video on Gaga way back in the day, but this channel has come a long way since then, so we decided to give it an update. As always, be sure to let us know in the comments down below who you want me to document next. Also, send this video to Lady Gaga on Twitter. She might retweet it. And 65 million is a lot of followers.
I was so nervous for tonight that I would let my fans down.
Lady Gaga was born Stephanie Joanne Angelina Germanotta on March 28, 1986 in New York City and grew up in a traditional Italian family. Her father, Joe Germanotta, pioneered the installation of wireless internet access in hotels when he started the company Guest Wi-Fi back in 2002. Besides being a wealthy entrepreneur, Gaga describes him as a blue-collar man who introduced her to music through his own love of Bruce Springsteen. Her mother's name is Cynthia, and Stephanie, she's the eldest of 2 with a younger sister named Natalie, who is 6 years her junior. At an early age of 4, Lady Gaga taught herself to play the piano by ear, and at 13 years old, she even wrote her first piano ballad. She knew from an early age that she wanted to be a famous performer, but was discouraged by her high school drama teacher who told her, "You'll never be a heroine, the blonde, the star, your hair's too dark, you'll look too ethnic." My high school drama teacher actually told me to call her after university. Huh, I wonder what that was all about. Young Stephanie was enrolled in a private school, the Covenant of Sacred Heart, an all-girl Roman Catholic school on Manhattan's Upper East Side. It's the same place where they filmed Gossip Girl, and eventually Lady Gaga would appear on that show.
I felt disenfranchised by my school and people in the school that would make fun of me and bully me and tease me.
Other alumni of the school include the Hilton sisters, who just like they did with Kim Kardashian, they didn't treat Stephanie all that great.
We actually know a girl named Kim, and she's a hoe.
When Lady Gaga made the cover of Vogue, she tweeted, "They used to call me Rabbit Teeth in school, and now I'm a real live Vogue beauty queen." To get away from the bullying, young Stephanie immersed herself in the arts and had the lead role of Adelaide in Guys and Dolls, and Philia in A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum. Starting at the age of 11, Stephanie started doing 30-minute vocal warm-ups each and every day with her voice teacher Dawn Lawrence, who worked with her up until her big break.
We want
full equality. No!
Outside of school, she studied acting at Lee Strasberg Theatre and Film Institute and would frequently run to auditions. She didn't have the best of luck, but did book a gig on The Sopranos back in 2001. Following private school, Gaga enrolled at the New York University Tisch School of the Arts, where she was one of only 20 students in the world to receive the honor of early acceptance. Stephanie quickly came to the realization that she could teach herself more about art than any school could. In 2005, Lady Gaga was briefly signed by Def Jam Records, but was dropped just months later. Her first big break wasn't all that artistic, but at least it was exposure, with her appearing on the MTV show Boiling Point.
Who puts that in their mouth? Would you put that in your mouth? It has all over it.
She'd started a band while at school known as the Stephanie Germanotta Band, but she wouldn't stick with that name for long. She was brainstorming a stage name with her boyfriend at the time, Rob Pizzari, when she typed in the Queen's hit Radio Gaga for inspiration. Autocorrect somehow turned radio into Lady, and Rob replied, "That's it." She became a regular performer at bars in the Lower East Side club scene, and well, back then she looked a little different. It was during this time that Lady Gaga's life took an unexpected turn. She was no longer in her traditional dorm room, but instead living in a Brooklyn apartment where the rent was $1,100. She was working as a go-go dancer where she would wear next to nothing and would party until the wee hours of the night. There were days when she woke up to bed bugs, roaches on the floor, and mirrors with cocaine everywhere. At least the rent was cheap, because them drugs are expensive. Taking on a darker tone, she began working at strip clubs wearing black leather and would dance to Black Sabbath, Guns N' Roses, and Faith No More. At one point, she was cited by the police for indecent exposure after wearing hot pants in public. Needless to say, her parents were impressed by all this.
Her father and I were like, he honestly, he said that I think she has a screw loose.
For some time, she teamed up with another performer, and together they would perform all over New York. Around this time, she was in an unhealthy relationship with a boyfriend who told her she would never be successful. She told him, "Someday when we're not together, you won't be able to order a cup of coffee at the fucking deli without hearing or seeing me." She's probably right. Although in some of those costumes, he'd be like, "Who the hell? Oh yeah, that's her shit."
I'm not a vomit in the club kind of girl.
Lady Gaga was certainly in a dark place, but through this emerged the experimental artist we know today. Her work led her to sign a record deal with Interscope Records on her 20th birthday. During her earlier years at Interscope, she wrote songs for Britney Spears, the Pussycat Dolls, Fergie, and the New Kids on the Block.
One of my greatest artworks is The Art of Fame. I'm a master of the art of fame.
But she was still eager to get her own career off the ground. R&B singer Akon discovered Gaga while she was performing a burlesque show that she had created known as Lady Gaga and the Starlight Review. Impressed, Akon signed the performer to his label under the Interscope umbrella Con Live. Through 2007 to 2008, Gaga wrote and recorded her debut album The Fame while she was out in Los Angeles. When The Fame was released, the singles Just Dance and Poker Face would earn Lady Gaga international success and her first Emmy nomination. And I really should have went to that show she had. There's only like 50 people there, I totally could have talked to her. Live and learn. Learn from my mistakes. As for the rest of the story, well, you know the story because this is Before Their Face. My name is Michael McCrudden. We make all sorts of celebrity bios here for you on this channel. We've done a lot of rappers, we've done a lot of singers, we've done a lot of models, we've done anybody who's anybody. So be sure to browse around, hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in another video.
Just in case any of you are wondering if I lip sync at all during my shows, the answer is no.